Pizza. The moment you had it as a kid, you wanted it every day. When my parents asked me what I wanted for dinner, my answer was always pizza. It's great for breakfast, it's great for lunch, it's perfect for dinner, and it's even better when you're drunk. Today, pizza comes in many different guises.
Get in on this.
Sourdough, wood fire, cauliflower crust, and whatever they call that casserole they make in Chicago. But pizza Napolitano, it's a historic creation of man, a true icon of food. At least that's what I thought before we were hoodwinked into eating arguably the worst thing I'd ever had in Italy.
I don't like this.
It basically looks like a pizza that was rolled up. Is this? Oh, wait a second. This may be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, I hypothesize we may have stuffed crust pizza.
I think we have stuffed crust
We
pizza.
may have stuffed crust pizza, and if we do, I'm super fucking excited.
That's so funny. Oh!
Let's do this. Okay.
We're rolling, Rob.
Spicy.
Wow. A couple hours north of Rome, in the green heart of Italy, lies Orvieto, a medieval city perched on a giant rock in southern Umbria. Based on that, you'd assume it's a sleepy old village with quaint shops and an ancient cathedral, which is true, but it overlooks the other aspect of Orvieto, which is a vibrant city producing contemporary Italian wines. The thought of driving a car through these streets is so unnerving. In my wine career, you always see Orvieto. Orvieto is one of the first wines, I think, in the United States that we learn about, but I've still never come here, and it's unbelievable. I walked the city with Paolo di Carvalho, son-in-law of Renzo Cottarella of the renowned Falesco winery, run by Renzo and his brother Riccardo, along with daughters Domenica, Marta, and Enrica, a very family-oriented estate. Even though Falesco is at the forefront of modernizing wines from this region, they remain deeply connected to the roots of this ancient city. Would you say Orvieto is one of the best preserved, oldest villages in all of Italy? That people still live in?
Yeah, well, I'd say so. I'd say it's definitely one of those little villages in Italy where you still see Middle Age houses. You still have the walls that were built even in the Roman period. So the beauty about Orvieto is that it preserves that ancient idea of living. I mean, the thing is, we all live in this little rock that was spitted by a volcano millions of years ago, and this Middle Age town was built upon.
The Etruscan town.
Yeah, right, yeah. So the Etruscans did everything in the beginning, then the city was conquered by the Romans, and then on and on and on.
Being rooted here, where do you see the place of the family in Orvieto, but also kind of in the bigger city of Rome?
Right. What we wanted to do is that to show people that quality doesn't only come from a specific type of soil or a geographic position. It comes mostly from culture. So what we really have here, so the varieties that are here, let's say the techniques that were used, but also from the, let's say, science, if you will. So they decided to put together these two things. So science, but at the same time, tradition.
In Italy, tradition binds families together in so many ways. Gathering around the table on Sundays is one such tradition the Cottarella family never misses. And we mean never.
Every Sunday, we are always together. Always. We are 12, 13 people, and we always have lunch together. So this is important because we create a group to go to the world. We share our ideas, and then we tell our ideas to the world. That's what we wanted to do. We want to say we can produce good wine. How to do it is difficult, yes, but we need to mix passion, territory, and science together.
I'm emotional. Like I have this, we would say, a shit-eating grin on my face because it's unfathomable that people made this 100% by hand with no computers, not even a slide rule. This is just pulleys, chisels, 100 years of work. We're really high up on this, this
little
just
rock.
rock.
It's a rock.
In the middle of the Sea of Umbria. This is why I love wine. This is why I'm passionate about learning about other cultures and people. France, Germany, Italy, Spain. When you're in these places and you feel the history, you're connected to something that's not part of my tradition.
That's why the wine world exists, because we need to tell our passion and we need to share it. If you are not able to share it, there's no purpose.
It's not just a beverage. It's
Oh no,
it's all of this.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
It's
totally.
$12.90.
A little bit
It
old.
blows my mind.
All this, that's what Italy really has to offer, and it's a lot. When you spend some time also with people from the place and you eat with them and you drink with them and you do the same thing that they do, you get a lot of contact with what culture really means. It takes a little bit time, but but right away you start feeling it.
While staying connected to the past, Falesco also has their eyes on the future. The Cottarella sisters recently began Intrecci, a school that's focused on training the next generation of hospitality professionals.
So what different sectors of hospitality do you train or teach in this school?
We teach a lot of things. We have 2,000 hours of lessons. So we have culinary, service, of course, English, French, marketing, economy, photography, acting. The way to enter the school is only interview. The students have to be really motivated. They want to explain why they want to do that school and why they want to do that job, because it's a very hard job, There are no Saturdays, no Sundays, no holidays. So we think that they need a lot of attention, and we have to be very present here with them because they're young, and we want them to be professionals.
This seems like like
I know.
we would need something like this too in the United States.
Leave that part on the table.
No, in theory no. Or it's in or in Bulgaria.
Back in Rome, we saw yet another example of the importance Falesco is placing on the preservation of the past to benefit future generations. In America, we adopt highways and hope the potholes get filled. In Rome, they adopt 500-year-old fountains. This fountain we're standing next to was finished in 1588.
Yeah.
How did the Cottarella family become part of the families of Italy who are supporting Rome and specifically this fountain?
It's so important for us, and so important for Italy as a city, as a community. We want to leave or to give our part to it. We want to participate to something good for what for us is one of the most amazing places in the world.
And how many fountains in Italy are part of this restoration?
Oh my God, I think that we are talking mostly from Rome. And well, let's say that Rome has over 2,000 fountains. And I think that I cannot tell you how many of those are being part of the program, but I'd say at least half of it.
For you, your family's not even Roman, and you're putting your money where your mouth is.
Right.
How do you think everyone else, when they come to Rome, should help take care of this city?
Everyone that comes to the city at least needs to understand how important it is and how you could also help to take care of it. And the first thing to do is to preserve and be respectful. Just don't throw away anything in the road. That is already a lot, but that thing will always only change if we change our mentality. So the people that live in Rome will say, "Oh, you cannot do that, buddy, because it's our city, and I hope you come back. So for you to come back, I need my city to be perfect."
From Rome, we headed east to the shores of San Benedetto del Tronto on the Adriatic Sea. It wasn't exactly peak season, when the shores are normally full of locals and speedos and tourists taking in beach culture. But if there's sparkling wine to be had, you'll be damn hard-pressed to keep me off the beach any time of year. So everybody's looked at us pretty weirdly since we walked on the beach, because they're like, what are these people doing? So why are we here?
So we are here because we wanted to start your visit to the Ciuciu property from the beach, because we are in an area that is known for the plurality of landscape. Starting from the beach, we are gonna drive inland for about 25 minutes, and we're gonna change completely the landscape. We wanted to show you how diverse is the landscape that we have here, and it obviously has an impact on the wine.
We're drinking Pecorino, which I think is one of the best wines for kind of beach life. How does the beach life in the culture play into the wines of the region?
The wine consumption on the beach is growing and growing throughout the last few years. Why? Because this kind of grape in particular, Pecorino, is very versatile. So it allows you to pair it with appetizers, entrance, tartare, fish tartare, all the way up to fuller, tastier dishes.
Speaking of fuller and tastier, although it was a little early in the morning, I made a pretty amazing discovery while roaming the open-air market of Sabbia Beach.
Grande, come si dice discovery?
Scoperta.
Un grande scoperta. Porchetta for breakfast. Wow. It's amazing.
The Ciuciu Winery was founded in 1970 in the southernmost part of the Marche, a region that feels like time has stood still, although the viticulture is merging with modern innovations. Having vineyards just 20 minutes from the sea, Ciuciu is showcasing wines that are an expression of the region's coastal and inland duality. You said this is called tagliere.
Yes.
Tagliere, so it's the introduction to the table.
Absolutely.
Meat and cheese.
You know, in Marche, we are known for having this plurality of landscape. So we were at the beach, where it's all about fish cuisine. Here we have drove half an hour, and we are already into another different tradition of cuisine, which relies on poultry, pork.
And so are all of these products organic as well?
Yeah, we don't know exactly if this tagliere comes from organic products, even if it's not certified bio, they come from family businesses.
You know, yeah.
And that's very important because Marche is known for family businesses. So in any business sector, most of the productions are family owned and operated. It's very hard to find people with employees and a structure to export. So it's most of the time family business that keep everything, you know, within the family and a good level of quality.
Wow.
The sparkling wine, is that a traditional wine of the region, or is this something that Ciuciu, you know, decided we wanted something? Because this pairing right here with the sparkling Sangiovese is perfect. Cutting through the fat, the salt of this is brightening this up. The olive ascolani is it's obviously one of my favorite foods on earth.
Anche se in passato il vitigno pecorino già tanti anni fa, prima dell'abbandono totale, quindi parliamo di qualcuno diciamo soprattutto nelle coltivazioni di montagna tendava alla spumantizzazione già, però non era diciamo una spumantizzazione, poi è stato totalmente abbandonato e qui la tradizione dello spumante non esisteva, è stata ripresa negli ultimi anni con il boom delle bollicine che diciamo in particolare vabbè Prosecco è quella che fa la differenza, però ormai si spumantizza un po' in tutta Italia, tutte le varietà. Salute!
Those of us in the wine industry all have that one epiphany bottle that sparked our curiosity and forever changed our appreciation of wine, and in my case, my entire career path. For me, that bottle was 1977 Mastro Berardino Tarazzi. A lot of wine pros have a similar story regarding Mastro Berardino. The winery started in Campania in 1878 and was one of the first families of Italian winemakers to break through to the global market. That road was not an easy one, but through Europe's phylloxera infestation, world wars, and American prohibition, Mastro Berardino is considered by many to be the leader in cultivation and preservation of southern Italy's native grapes.
The reputation of the family was very strong up to the 30s. We got a huge distribution worldwide of these wines by my grandfather period. Then we have in the 30s the arrival of phylloxera in this region. And then we have the World War II with a lot of damages in the vineyards. So after the war it was very hard. And in 1945 my grandfather dies when my father is 17. And my father was already in charge of the main issues of the company since 2 years before, so when he was 15, because my grandfather had a disease and started becoming blind.
So your father at 15 was
1943
was put in charge of almost at that time already almost 200-year-old company.
Yes. After the war, my father had to start again from the beginning, more or less, meaning that he started bringing back to the market of Amalfi Coast and Napoli the Greco di Tufo, Taurasi, and then Fiano, that became, some years later, became Fiano di Avellino. You know, many people from the restaurant business were completely new, and completely new to some of the appellations, so he had to really restart.
Starting and restarting, preserving the past while moving into the future. This is why you'll hear a lot of people in the industry say that drinking wine is like drinking history. Piero and the Mastroberardino family have always been particularly good at preserving the past. They have a museum dedicated to historical documents, ledgers, and diaries that go back more than 200 years. The family has also been working in collaboration with the Pompeii excavations, using DNA samples from grape seeds to recreate ancient wines using the same viticultural techniques that were used in that period. Another pet project of Piero's is using the vinification techniques from the golden age of the 1960s and applying them to modern-day winemaking.
For a wine, for a classical wine, you know, time is a circle. It's not like for us, you know. So we go back to classical styles, having the possibility to show the great modernity of these wines. Our role, our mission, is to present the complexity of such heritage and terroir, big terroir. And so we have to go for the success of today and to probably recover some of the roots of our artistic contribution to this world of winemaking.
Luckily in our quest, we found what we were all looking for: damn good pizza. No frills or gimmicks, just quality ingredients and perfect execution.
Welcome in our restaurant. We do here traditional, popular mama's food. My mom and my grandmama, they used to go every day to the market. They buy and cook what they find. So if you buy, cook and eat every day, of course comes out fresh food, day food. I say again, mama's food. And this is the heart of this restaurant. Art and food together, cultura. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you. Thank you.
Pro tip, and I always screw this up. Anytime I do some sort of eating crawl, the first restaurant, I go way too hard.
Did you go too hard?
I went too hard. The ball of pizza is currently trapped in my stomach. And I'm not gonna kill anybody's dream, and I will power through, because I know in a few days my all-vegetable diet will be in effect for the rest of the month. My parents are gonna be like, when I cook dinner, they'd be like, what happened to the smoked, you know, bone and ribeye you always do? I was like, oh, you're suffering for my sins.